Welcome to all my travelers out there. I am your host, Darren Beckett, and this is the Global Travel Podcast. For those who do not know my travel resume, I've been to 13 states, 15 countries on 5 different continents, but it is not about me. Here, we are giving you quality travel tips, insights, and recommendations on all the best destinations for ideas to enjoy your vacations. With that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. We are all clear for takeoff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we reach our destination, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, click the bell, and if you can do me a favor, if you can go in the comment section below, type in the words, "I got my ticket." At the end of the show, I'm going to come back, I'm going to respond to see how your experience went with us, all right? So with that being said, on today's episode, we are taking a trip to France. So make sure you got your passports, your earphones, and something to snack on. We have a very special guest here with us today. But before I introduce her, let me just say this. Now, this young lady right here has been to quite a bit of places, actually. She's actually been to 11 states and 7 countries. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Miss Dena Wallace. How you doing today, Dena?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you so much for stopping by, showing us some travel knowledge and love. So much appreciated.
No problem. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, of course. So before we hit this flight, we have a flight to go to France today. So let's do this. So before we get on that, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where you from? Where you live? Hobbies, work, all that good stuff.
Okay, well, my name is Dena Wallace. I am from Natchez, Mississippi, born and raised. I went to Alcorn State University in Mississippi, majored in nursing, so I'm an ICU nurse. And I live in Atlanta, Georgia right now, but I'm actually working in Houston, Texas, because of the pandemic.
Nice, nice. What about any hobbies? I know travel is definitely one of them, but what are any hobbies that you like to do?
Hobbies, I love to listen to music. I love spending time with my family. I actually do love to rollerblade. I don't think a lot of people do anymore, but it's a hobby that I still love to do. And I
Mhm.
love going to concerts or um, not necessarily shopping, but shopping here and there. I don't like spend too much money on unnecessary things. I feel like when you go to the mall, you just find more and more things that you need and you spend more and more money. By the time you get home, you're like, what did I spend my money on? Like, did I spend my money on all this? So I try to
Yeah.
take care of the malls unless I actually have, something I'm actually looking for. So,
Mm.
um, other than that, I like to do acro yoga. If you never heard of Acro Yoga, it's amazing. It's really, really popular out in California, and it's two-person yoga. So it's partner yoga, and it's
Mm.
a lot of fun.
It sounds like it's a lot of work too. It sounds like somebody got to support somebody.
That's it. That's it. You gotta
Yeah,
support.
yeah. That's what it. Yeah, cool. But I mean, you know what? Have you heard about the yoga where they have got like goats and all that? Is that real? That's something. Is that a thing
You know
with the
what?
goat?
I have seen that animal yoga too. I haven't tried it, but I've seen it, and it just doesn't look very relaxing to me. But to each his own.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah, you don't knock till you try it, I guess. So, all right, cool. So let's go ahead and get on. Matter of fact, before we hit this flight, let's go in Mississippi since that's where you from originally. What do you recommend folks to do while they're in Mississippi? That's a different state.
Well, in Mississippi, we love to spend time with family there. We love to go fishing, and hunting is very popular in Mississippi. Some people go shopping. The malls are, of course, a lot smaller when it comes to Mississippi, but it's not. I can't tell you. There's a lot to do. It's some historic museums there that you can go to. The capital is Jackson, Mississippi, and so you can, of course, go to Jackson and have a great time a night out on the town and enjoy some great cuisine, but like just some historic big points to go to. I don't, besides the Mississippi River, which is a huge point because we have a lot of casinos in Mississippi. So a lot of people come to Mississippi to gamble. For me growing up, we went to the casino, which was Lady Luck. It was a huge casino boat, and a lot of people would come there not only to go to the casinos, but it was also a time of the year usually, I think it was in the summer going into the fall. It was called pilgrimage, and so it celebrated a time for Natchez that brought a lot of profit. And
Mhm.
it was for the rich to do in Natchez. They would have like these balls and celebrate, the harvest and the things that had happened in that area. It was not for, of course, African Americans at that time, as we were enslaved. So it's not something that for me and my family we ever celebrated or visited. But when I say we got a lot of visitors for it, a lot of visitors came down just for that, to ride in the carriages and to see the antebellum homes. It was a huge deal.
Mhm. Yeah, that sounds pretty dope. That sounds pretty dope.
Yeah.
Now, you did mention cuisine. What is Mississippi known for? What type of food do you got? Would you recommend out there for us to eat?
Well, in Mississippi, we are basically the most obese state in the United States. We love to eat. We eat everything. We like
Uh,
everything fried. If you can
yeah.
fry it, we will eat it. So, fried catfish, fried shrimp, fried oysters. You fry some mushrooms, we'll eat it. Some fried onions, we will eat it. We love
Mhm.
anything that is fried. That is what we want. We love soul food. We
Mhm.
love fried chicken and rice and collard greens and turnip greens and mustard greens, any kind of greens. We love it. So, all that good stuff we absolutely love, and we definitely love like turkey necks, and it's just a little bit of everything. And
Right.
I grew up off of soul food. I absolutely love it. If you want some really good cuisine, get in good with someone whose mom is cooking on a Sunday afternoon, and you
Mhm.
will have some of the best food of your life.
Yep, I know what you mean. My mom, her side of the family from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, New Orleans. So, yeah, she get down in the kitchen. So I'm a little spoiled when it comes to good food. So I know what you mean. Mississippi, yeah, it's down south, good food. I'm sure. I've been Holly Springs, Mississippi. My brother went to
Okay,
Russ, so yeah, I know a little bit, very very little. So
little.
yeah. So what's the? I know it was hot and humid when I went. It was during like the summertime. So that's kind of like the what's the weather like? What's it like weather wise? What's the best time to come and all that?
Um, I would say the spring. Spring would be
Mm,
better to come to, spring or the fall. Summers are very humid, and people that are not from Mississippi are usually pretty hot. They're sweating from their head to their toes. They're like, "Oh, why is it so hot?" And we're just sitting there
mm,
looking at them like, this is all we know. All we know is humidity. We don't
mm-hmm,
like it, but we are used to it.
mm-hmm.
So, definitely come and at a time when the weather is kind of in between seasons, and you should be okay.
Cool, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never been to Mississippi, it's a few things you can do, whether go to the casino, hiking, hunting, fishing, Mississippi River, museums. It's just a lot to do. Fried food. If you like food, fried food, good food, soul food is good down there. So definitely try it out. Put it on your list if it's not already. So, all right, Mississippi was fun. Now, Dina, where we going next? What other state do you recommend us to travel to?
Um, I would say one of my favorite states to travel to is California.
Hmm.
Just because it has everything. If you want to go to a rooftop bar, it's there. If you want to go to the beach, it's 30 minutes away. If you want to try any cuisine you've ever probably imagined, it's in LA.
Mhm.
So, one of my favorite cities to take a job in or a contract job in, for me as a travel nurse, is LA, because I can try things I've never tried before. And I love the beach life. I can go to Venice Beach and people are walking around with music, and you have Muscle Beach right there. The guys are showing off with the weights. You have somebody else down the way doing beatboxing and dancing, and trying to make a few bucks, and it's like super entertaining, and it's like wow. So I
Mm.
actually went on a date in Venice Beach, and had one of the best dates. We were on the beach. We played Uno. We had like one of those beach tents. Uno, ate hot dogs, watched the sunset, and just really got to know each other. And it was like such a cool date. And so, the vibe in Venice Beach, or even in California, but definitely in Venice Beach, is
Right.
just so dope.
Right,
So dope.
right, right. Yeah, definitely Venice is yeah, for those folks who don't know what Venice Beach is, if you're in LA, you're in California, in LA, you got to go to Venice Beach. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of activity, a lot of entertainment, a lot of I guess you can say weirdos too. It's a lot of
Yeah,
weirdos,
a
but
lot.
it's all fun and love. So it's all good fun. So definitely try out Venice Beach if you've never been there, never heard. Anything else that you would recommend in California?
I would recommend, I would still recommend Santa Monica because it has a pier.
Mhm.
The Ferris wheel is there, a lot of rides and things for the kids to do, but it's it's one of those iconic places in LA you have to visit before you leave LA. So I would say definitely Santa Monica too. What else can I say? There's a few places in LA that you can go that are, of course, the Hollywood sign would be is always epic.
Mhm.
It's one or two places that you can see like the whole city. I cannot. It's called OU space. OU space, and
Mhm.
it's literally the tallest building in LA, and you
Mhm.
can see all of the city. If you go at night, absolutely gorgeous. They
Mhm.
also have a slide that you can slide down. You slide down, you come back down. It's like wow. It's like all you see as you're sliding down are just the city and the buildings behind you. It's so super cool because you're actually sliding on a slide that's actually clear. So you're sliding down, and it's
Mm.
like all you see is like the city. And so it's dope if you've never done it, right? It's a really
Right.
short slide, but it's still like you're at the top, you're in the tallest building doing a slide that people would love to do. So it's pretty cool. So
Dope, dope. I haven't done that before, so I need to put that on my list. Definitely put that on my bucket
oh
list.
yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys are in LA, there's a couple other places you can go, of course. If you want to just venture out a little bit, go to another neighboring city, I will recommend San Diego. It's about a 2 hour drive south of LA. So it's a lot to do out there, of course, as well. You got your SeaWorld, Balboa Park, a lot of museums, wine and paint, and it's a lot of activities, a lot of things going on. And of course, LA, you got, your downtown LA, you got your clubs, you got your nightlife is crazy. Nightlife is
It is.
crazy in LA. So if you're a nightlife type of person, yeah, definitely LA may be a place for you. So you know what? Let's shed a little, like you said, travel nurse. So I'm sure there's some folks out there who may have thought about becoming a travel nurse or maybe in the process of becoming a travel nurse. So can you shed a little light about what a travel nurse is, what they do, your job, and all that good stuff?
So for me, a travel nurse is I'm just fulfilling a need at a hospital that is short staffed on nurses.
Hmm.
So say I'm working in Atlanta and a hospital in LA was like, yo, we'll pay you double or triple what you're making in Atlanta if you come out here and work because we are in desperate need of nurses. So
Mm.
stay in Atlanta, not make money, go to California, make a lot of money. So, I packed my bags. I started travel nursing about 4 years ago, and I haven't stopped because
Mm.
financially it's better for me. I do want to go ahead and settle down and get a house, but it's just basically hospitals around the country fulfilling their staffing needs.
Mhm.
And it's even worse at a time like this during a pandemic where nurses have quit. Nurses are
Mm.
exhausted,
Mm.
and they just need a break. So when they need a break, then guess what? Travel nurses come in and handle those shifts and take care of those patients. We work 3 days a week, mostly sometimes 4 days a week,
Mhm.
and the other days you have off to explore the city that you're in. So you
Mhm.
can explore the city, which is what I do in LA whenever I go. You can There's always something to do in LA. So you'll never be bored unless you want to be bored, right? So
Yeah, right.
if you want to be bored and stay in your room or your apartment, you can. But if you want to see the city or the nightlife, or go and eat where the famous celebrities eat, and make sure you don't run into somebody like I don't know Beyonce or Kelly Ripa. It's definitely possible. Just going to the grocery store and a celebrity being there is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, tell me about it. So, what are the pros and the cons of being a travel nurse?
The pros are definitely the money. Um, what other pros are there? Meeting new people, and being able to explore new cities and go anywhere in the country I want to. And also the other pro
Mhm.
is, those contracts are usually 3 months at a time. So they're usually 13 weeks. So with 13 weeks, I'll do a 13-week contract. I
Mhm.
just made a bunch of money. I usually take a month off and then I'll go wherever I want to go. If I want to treat myself to Thailand, I go to Thailand. If I want to go to Paris, I go to Paris.
Nice.
And I'm not on anybody's schedule. I can come back when I want to. or I can do a short trip, just go see family in Atlanta or go see family in
Yeah,
Texas and come right back. So I can do a short trip or I can just take the
that's
month
it.
off. It's not often that you can just take a month off from work or 2 months off from work. And some travel nurses work
Hmm.
6 months at a time and take the other 6 months off. So it's just according to how you want to live your life.
Right, right. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The travel nurse is something you've been thinking about, then that may be it. What about the cons? Because we do need to know the not so good side of travel because it sounds good, but what's the
Ooh.
other side?
Cons of it is, I think, definitely having to worry about housing. So you have two options. You can take company housing or you can book your own housing. So the con in that is if you do company housing, then it's usually coming out of your check. Not always. Some companies will pay for it, but most companies, say I guarantee you, I'm just gonna say they guarantee me, you're gonna make 2,000 a week. That's just a
Hmm.
roundabout, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so then if I take travel housing, oh, we're gonna take 800 out of your check for housing weekly. So I'll make only make 1,200. So you have to make a
Hmm.
decision. Do I want to take company housing? Or, if you're trying to like pay down bills or loans and stuff like that, then you're not going to get anywhere if you're having a low amount compared to
Hmm.
if you found your own housing. You get the full amount. Say the full amount is 2,500 if you just go ahead and find your own housing.
Hmm.
2,500 a week if you just go find your own housing. But the con is expensive housing is usually in California. I love
Hmm.
California, but LA is very expensive to live in. So
Yeah.
one bedroom will cost you about $3,000. So you have to see which one is more beneficial for you. Um,
Hmm.
Compared to if I said, hey, I want to do a travel assignment in Houston. Houston is like a lot cheaper than LA, so I can keep more of my money.
Hmm.
So that's the con of it. The con and the other con is that you miss family and friends. You're away for long periods of time, and it's hard to be away from family and friends. And after a while, you just get homesick.
Hmm. Yeah, that I hear what you're saying. So, you guys, if you ever thought about being a travel nurse, weigh out your pros and cons. And if you have more questions, we'll definitely put Dena. We'll put your information in the on the screen or in the description, so you guys can ask more questions, go deeper into it if you like. And then let's go ahead. We touched. We went to Mississippi, went to California. So we have a little ways before we get to France. So before we get there, what other country would you recommend us to go to?
One of my absolute favorite vacation of all time was Thailand. It was it was everything I dreamed it would be and more. So that was my favorite vacation of all time. And I had just gotten done for travel contract, and a guy I had just started dating had asked me. He was like, "Yo, like, you want to go to Thailand?" I was like, "Yeah." Thought he was like playing with me and everything. Nah, he was not playing. The next week he booked our trip,
Mm,
bought the tickets and everything. He had hotel points for each point of our trip.
mm,
Didn't have to worry about hotel. Um, he had points for the airline tickets. It was literally like, let's just go. And it was a
right.
very carefree trip. Um, I fed the elephants. I don't believe in actually going and riding the elephants. If you see the elephants in Thailand, you see the kind of pain they're in with people riding their backs. You wouldn't do it. Like, I
Hmm.
think it's very inhumane to do it. So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
went and I fed them apples and gave them water. But it's not something that I recommend anyone doing if you
Hmm.
do more research into it. So
Hmm.
that and the massages, I did a cooking class in Thailand. I did what was it, the Hong Kong tour, and
Hmm.
you literally get in the boats and someone is basically it's a canoe and they basically paddle for you. All you have to do is take in the scenery.
Nice.
Gorgeous. I mean, the mountains, you go through a cave. The water was crystal clear blue. It was just like it was straight out of something on TV and you just were right in the midst of it. So it
Hmm.
was just magical.
I bet. Yeah, I've been to Thailand, and unfortunately, I was one of those what is it, inhumane folks. Unfortunately, I was ignorant, and I tell people that my
Oh,
bad now. Yeah, I was one of those. I was one of those. I was. I rode the. I
my
was very,
bad.
tourist. No. It's good. I know now. Now I know because I had those folks who had to enlighten me and wake me up, and I was like, man, I didn't even think about that. I wish I would have known, but it's already, damage is done. But now I try to educate other folks who were in my shoes once upon a time, like, yo, you don't want to ride the elephants. There's other places that you can do, like the sanctuaries where you can wash the elephants, play in the mud, feed them, and
Yeah.
all that. That's more of a better vibe. That's more of a better thing to do that I would recommend. Don't do as I did. You know how your parents say, "Don't do what I did."
Yes.
Now I am
Do
by
better, people. Do better.
do better. Yeah. If you knew better, you do better. That's what Oprah say, right? So, yeah, definitely. So that's very, very key. So I hope y'all are taking notes for Thailand. Then what about the food in Thailand? What do you recommend to eat
Oh,
while we're here?
for the food, I say, you're in Thailand, eat Thai food. Don't go over there saying, "Oh, I want a hamburger." No, be authentic. Like, when you go to the floating market and you have a vendor that wants to cook you a meal, let them cook you a meal. Let them cook you a meal and enjoy it. They will cook you up something amazing, pass it to you, and you just enjoyed it. It wasn't like, there were some places that I probably went to that I can't even recall, but some of the best food I had was just randomly in the Thai market. Um, just just like the authentic. Everything was there. It was absolutely delicious. So
Yep, definitely recommend. I always try to recommend my listeners, follows out there, try the local cuisine. I know folks want to be comfortable and try, like, eat the McDonald's because that's what they know and familiar with. But first of all, I don't take like the McDonald's back here. And then second of all,
right,
if you're in another country, you might as well just go there. I mean, even if you don't like it, I mean, you're not gonna like everything. I'll tell you that right now. You're not gonna like
right.
everything, but don't
You're
knock it
not
till you try it. Yeah, once you tried it, and you be like, all right, that's not for me, then that's fine. But at least try it. So okay, cool. Thailand was fun. We got some knowledge on the, don't be too touristy in Thailand. Do the elephant sanctuary versus riding elephants. So we learned that, and also we learned the street food. Try the street food in Thailand. Very, very good. And also the float
very
market. The float market for you guys who do not know. You, like you said, you're in a boat, you're in a canoe. You, like she mentioned, you don't have to do anything. You're just enjoying the scenery. It's beautiful. You're just floating in the river or what have you, and then stop at different places, different markets that the local Thailand folks is just serving whatever fruits or meals or paintings or souvenirs or gifts. It's a lot, and your money goes along. If you're in America, your money goes a long way. The dollar stretches a
long
long
way.
way to Thailand. So definitely book that trip. Put to Thailand on your list. So all right, Thailand was fun. Now let's hit one more country before we go to France. So what other country would you recommend us to go to?
Um, I mean, it's so many different countries. If I had to recommend one, I enjoyed the Cayman Islands and I enjoyed India as well.
Mm,
Both very different experiences, but it's just a matter of just putting yourself out there and going. For India, I went as I was right out of college. I went to Visakhapatnam in India. It was an amazing experience. I did research, pharmaceutical research all that summer.
mm-hmm.
And it was like eye-opening experience, like interacting with the people there. Like they would stare at you like, "Why are you here?" And you're looking like, "I don't know. Like, why are you staring at me?" Like, it's very intimidating to see them like stare at you or, you know, follow you in the market, and you're like, "Why are you following me? Why are you touching my hair?" Like, this is before, like, I guess, people were actually talking about, their experiences abroad online. And so, I didn't. It was a fascination. They thought I was a model. And I was like, "You want a picture with me?" I was like, "Yeah, we can take a picture." So, and then they thought my friends were basketball players because they were so tall. So they wanted pictures with them because they thought they were famous. And we were just regular everyday people. But I had a lot of fun learning about their culture.
Yeah.
I think that was the best part for me. And my instructor was really, really awesome. He made sure that we went to New Delhi and we did our research in Visakhapatnam. It was a small community. Not a lot of people know about that community, but we went to New Delhi and Hyderabad, which is really known for their pearls. And so we went shopping for pearls and New Delhi was like almost like New York. Like, so they were like so cool and cool to see us and take pictures with us. But they were like all having their own vibe, like their own like, like let's kick it. And some people were trying to like come up to you and like kiss you because they want to kiss an American. And I'm like, what? Never met you before. No, like they're like, I want to kiss an American. You're beautiful. I'm like, no, y'all need to stop. You're
Wow.
embarrassing me in front of my professor. No.
That
So
is crazy.
would it have been a different circumstance with girlfriends? Okay, fine. But with my professor, I do not want to embarrass myself like that. So it was different. But I love New Delhi and the fact that they were just so excited to see us and to interact with us. So
Mhm.
um, the food was really good. They didn't think that I would be able to handle their Indian spice. I was like, huh, you must not
Mhm.
know. I love spice. And so their spices were really good. I enjoyed their food. And just learning about the different cuisine when you're there is pretty awesome. So
Mhm. Mhm. Anything that you remember specifically about whether it's the cuisine or the culture or the tradition that you remember at all?
Um, ooh, it's a lot. I can definitely say I remember trying to ride a motorcycle with my one of my instructors, and so he wanted me to sit sideways on the motorcycle with my legs, to
Mhm.
the side. I was like, that's not how we ride in America. I ride with one leg over the motorcycle just like you. He's like, are you really gonna ride like that? I was like, yes, I am. Is it gonna hurt anything? He said, no. I said, exactly. I was like, why can't I be secure on the motorcycle like you? So I got
Uh,
on with my jeans and we rode out. And so when I say the whole community was staring like, who is she and why is she riding like that? But you just
yep.
go with the flow and I learned a lot about his culture and he learned a lot about mine. And it was very eye opening and I wish I could still go back, but it's been years since I've been back, but I truly value that experience and that time in Thai and in India.
Nice. Yeah. So if you guys haven't been to India, definitely put it on your bucket list. I even hear that they have good selections for vegetarians since a lot of their country is vegetarian. So for you
Yep.
vegetarian folks out there, India may be a good place for you. So
And Taj
that's cool.
Mahal. Taj Mahal.
Gotta go
It,
to that's one of the seventh wonders of the world, right?
yes.
Or no?
Yes.
Okay,
It
okay. See,
was
yeah, put
and it was when you first get there you cannot walk on the grounds in your shoes. So you have to take your shoes off. So the whole grounds that you
mm,
usually see that's all pearly white, no shoes. So
no shoes.
sacred ground. And so you walk and then you have photographers that will take pictures of you with the Taj Mahal behind you. And so you can get pictures there and walk and just see the gorgeous structure. But it was pretty amazing.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. India is on my list. So thank you for that. And the Taj Mahal, of course. So, all right. It looks like, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially landed in France. So welcome, welcome, welcome. It was a
Woohoo!
long trip. We finally here. We're ready to get off the plane. Let's stretch our legs and hit the ground running. So, what is
Okay.
the first thing that you would recommend us to do while we're here in good old France?
Um, the first thing, of course, everybody wants to go to the Eiffel Tower. So can't go
Mm-hmm.
to Paris without going to the Eiffel Tower.
Must
Um,
do.
it's a must do, and I feel like the earlier you go, the less crowded that area is. So if you would like to go early. I know
Mhm.
that at sundown, each night up until 1 a.m., you have the sparkling of the tower. So for up to 5 minutes, the lights on the Eiffel Tower sparkle at the top of the hour when you're in Paris. So that's pretty cool if you tour Paris all night. I think it was like maybe like the last night. And if I had known it looked so amazing at night, I probably would have went every night. But we got a picnic blanket and we got pizza and wine, and we set out with a wireless speaker and listened to music and just enjoyed the atmosphere and drinking wine and pizza and cheese and bread and was just enjoying the luxury of just having nothing to do but to enjoy the company of the people you're with and enjoy the friendliness of the people there.
Hmm. Yeah, so I hear I've been there, so I don't know. What was your experience when it came to they say that what is it, French folks don't like Americans. What was your experience I don't know if you heard that or not, but
I
if
have.
so, what was your okay, what was your experience? Can you confirm or deny? What was that about?
For me, um, I can understand why. I think that a lot of the French are frustrated that we would have the audacity to come to their country and not know their language. So just the simple bonjour, merci, it's just those simple things. Just they appreciate even you trying to say that. So you
Hmm.
not speaking any French, I won't say most, but most do know English and can speak English to you. And at the restaurants that I went to, no problems with anyone, communicating with me. I was able to communicate very well what I wanted for dinner and what I was looking for. Um, they do not believe in the ice in their drinks. You Americans like ice in your Coca Cola. There is no ice. There's no ice in your water. You're getting regular water. You are getting regular
Uh,
Coke. There's no ice. Here you
uh,
go. So
that's funny.
you have to get used to things like that. But I didn't have anybody that was rude to me. I have read a million stories of people having bad experiences in Paris and people being rude to them, but I did not have that experience, and I'm grateful.
Hmm. And I can honestly say the same thing. I didn't have that experience neither. Not maybe I just didn't pay attention to it. That's possible as well. But I had a good time. I was chilling. I was chilling with some black folks over there. I was like, oh, there's actually black folks in France. This is cool. So he came in was like, yo, it was all in French. Well, not all. It took a little bit of English, but yeah, I didn't really have an issue neither. So I guess it just depends. Maybe they are like that in general, but I just didn't have that experience. So thank God. And then now, as far as English,
Yeah.
is this something we can just is it okay to for us folks just to go around speaking English, or do they have folks who actually speak English? Can we get around, or do we need to know some words or some have somebody to translate?
No, I mean, I didn't have anybody translating for me, and so I learned basic French words, but that was it. Mostly everybody I encountered, as far as my Uber drivers, the restaurant, as far as the waiters and waitresses, even when we went out for a show, everybody spoke English.
Okay.
Um, so I didn't have any problems like trying to communicate with anybody. So I was all good. It was all good.
Good, good. Now let's go ahead and get this Rosetta Stone in. So those folks who would like to learn a little bit of French, here we go. Now I heard you said a couple words in French. I'm actually learning French, so you can teach me. You said bonjour, bonjour.
Yeah,
So what is bonjour? What does that mean?
that is hello.
Hello. Okay, hello. So if you guys want to, say hello in French, you say bonjour. So
Right.
you said merci is another word. So what does merci mean?
That means thank you.
So if you guys need to say thank you, if you go to France, go to Paris or wherever in France, or even another French speaking country, merci is thank you. So bonjour, hello, merci is thank you. Those are very, very important words to know. So at least learn those. So we got our Rosetta Stone out the way. Any other words or come on, do you know any? What do you know? Any any sentences or something like that? Like comment allez-vous?
Um,
I know that one. Comment
I
allez-vous?
know.
Je
¿Cómo
m'appelle Darren.
está? ¿Cómo
Ah.
estás? How you're doing? And then muy bien. People will say I'm doing good. So, or comme si comme ça means like so, like not the best day. So,
See,
yeah.
you're
So I
learning.
know a
Eh,
little something, but not very much.
Gotcha.
So enough to be nice, but to hold a whole conversation, I really need to get my Rosetta Stone out too and freshen up.
It's all good. Yeah, I need it. They have something called Duolingo, and then for those folks who just want to just cheat completely, just all the way, you can do the Google Translator. I guess you can do that as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now, what about let's see, far as I know, you mentioned the food. Is there any particular foods that you would recommend while in France or in Paris?
Um, I don't know about you, but I didn't have a good experience with the food in Paris. Like, I didn't have anything. I want to make sure that we're on the same accord, but I didn't have anything there that just wowed me. And I wish I could, recommend. Like, I went to this place, and oh my gosh, the food was amazing. But the food can be very bland. I hate to say that. Now the desserts were amazing. The macaroons were delicious. I absolutely love them. But as far as like dinner or lunch or breakfast, nothing just said to me, oh my gosh, I can't wait to have this again. Right? So if it doesn't say that to you, you can't really recommend like this place and they didn't even season their food or it's bland and there was just nothing about the food that made you say, I want it again. So I can't give any recommendations. I wish I could.
No, 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 no. I asked that on purpose because I didn't really have that much of a recommendation on what to eat in France or Paris in general. Neither. It wasn't like they're a foodie type of city, so that's not what they're known for. So get
No.
that out your mind. They're more known for like romance and wine and stuff like that. Maybe art and fashion and stuff like that. But food that's not what you go to Paris for. So, but real quick, let me pause this real quick. All right. So, what about a visa? Do Americans need visas to go to France?
Um, I I only needed my passport for it. You have the form that you do in the airport, that's usually blue that like, asks you, what you're here for. That kind of thing is I never had to have like something specific like a visa before for
Okay.
for
Oh,
that trip.
and do you recall? I know, we get our airlines mixed up and whatnot, but do you recall what airline you took going to
I
Paris?
do. I took United and had no problems. Got there safely. It's a 7-hour flight from like New York. So from New York, no problems. I did do food. The food option, you have an option between food or no food. You can always just do your snacks.
Mhm.
But I did the food option. I do not remember what I ate, but I do remember it was good.
Right.
I don't remember throwing it away. So I would recommend the food option because when they start bringing those trays around, you had no food in like 4 hours.
Mm.
That little airline food started looking real good. So
Yep.
I
Yep.
recommend it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, what is like the price range for a round trip ticket from New York to Paris? About more or
My
less.
my ticket was about 700. I
Okay.
don't know. Mine was about 700 and it was, a round trip and I did not have any problems. I got my luggage,
Mm-hmm.
left on time, arrived on time. Everybody was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I did economy. But for long flights, you want to do somewhere you can really stretch out. So if you can stretch out and get, business, definitely do.
Hmm. So out of out of 195 countries that you could have been to, I know you've been to seven. Why did you choose France? Why France?
I ended up choosing France because it was just a childhood dream to go to Paris. It's the city of love, the city of lights. I want to go to where just the city just oozes love, and everybody's in love and kissing, and that's what you're thinking because that's what you see in the movies, right? And so when you go to Paris, Parisians are just living their life. They are not, running around holding hands and kissing all the time like you think they do in the movies, but that's that idea we have of Paris because of the movies we always see.
Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely right about that. Now, what about, are they known for like shopping or jewelry or anything like that?
Well, yeah, Paris is definitely known for their fashion, and you can definitely go to Paris and pick out some amazing places to go if you want to go to. I wrote some places down to make sure I told you guys. Let's see.
Yep. Take your
So
time.
it's the Gallery Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
Lafayette, if you want to do luxury brands or if you just want to do local stores, you can do that. But it's a beautiful mall, about 4 levels to it. They have Armani, Chanel, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, and a lot more. But it gives you an idea of the kind of shops that are in there. So if you want a one-stop shop that has everything and it's absolutely gorgeous, that's where you should go.
Okay, cool. Definitely. So for you shoppers out there, France may be the place for you. Now, far as your accommodation, did you stay in a hotel or Airbnb, or how was that?
Didn't stay in an Airbnb. We stayed at the Hyatt Paris and the Balzac Eiffel
Mm,
Tower. And the Balzac was beautiful. If you want to go where it has this old feel, like I want to say all every room. If you look at the pictures for the hotel, there it's absolutely gorgeous. And if you want to have a view of the Eiffel Tower, that's where you need to go.
mhm.
From your window, you can see the Eiffel Tower, and so it's just everything a girl could dream of. So, here I am in my hotel room. Oh, the Eiffel Tower, here it is. Oh my gosh, this is my best life. And so, this is what you're here for. So it's amazing view when you wake up in the morning to see the Eiffel Tower right there. And so, if you love, like, I want to say, antique feel of furniture, like very old school with the furniture, not high end, and it's very different. Every room is a different decor. It's very different like that, and so you can appreciate the uniqueness of the hotel.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Their hotels are definitely different than American hotels. This it seems when I stayed in them, they seem to be a little smaller, so they're not as obese as us folks in America. So
Correct.
that's funny. And then now there was something else. Is there anything that you disliked? I mean, I know we talked about the food, but other than the food, is there anything that you disliked about Paris or France in general?
I really can't say there's nothing that I did not like about Paris. I did not like that I didn't have enough time to go to
Mm,
everything. So it was a
mhm,
short trip. It was like I think it was a 5 or 6 day trip. So
mhm,
within that time, you did not have a lot of time to. The day just went so quickly because you had so much to do. Like going to the Louvre, beautiful, beautiful museum, but it's like
mhm.
35,000 pieces of artwork. That is a lot of art to see in a day. So
Yes.
going somewhere like that, I mean, you're like, wow, like you have, art from Egypt, you have Greece, you have Africa. I mean, any from all over the world, there is art in this museum. And if I remember correctly, it's about 3 or 4 levels to it. And so
Wow.
it takes about 3 to 4 hours just to get through the loop.
Mhm,
And so if you want to go and have a tour guide with you and somebody that actually talks to you about each piece of art, you can do it that way. You'll skip the
mhm,
line, or you can buy a ticket that's an early bird ticket and skip the line. You'll still have a line, but it'll be a shorter line. You'll get
right.
in, you'll tour it on your own time and read about the art without having someone tell you everything. So it's just
Mhm.
according to what you are looking for.
Right, right. Now, what type of vacation is France? Is it for solo folks, romance, family, budget travelers? Is it expensive? What type of vacation is Paris or France in general?
It's not budget friendly. It can be budget friendly if you just don't do anything, right? So you then it's kind of budget friendly. You just do the basics. You do the Louvre. I've heard about people doing the Black Paris tour. I don't know if you've
I,
heard about
I've
that
heard
one.
about that. Yep, I have. Yep.
So I did not do it. I wanted to, but I was with two other people, and I don't think that they wanted to do it, but I was really
Hmm.
interested.
Hmm.
But if I had gone like by myself or with a different group of people is something that I definitely would have explored.
Hmm. Yep.
So,
Yeah, put that on your to-do list when you get back. That's definitely on
mhm.
mine. I heard about it. I heard about it. So definitely on my bucket list. So that's something I'm gonna try out myself. Now, a little bit about the boutique hotels and accommodation. How was like the customer service? Do you recommend their hotel to stay in, or do you recommend like the American chain, like the Hyatt?
um, I think that they both were amazing hotels. Like one was, of course, the rooms were more modern or contemporary, and the other one were more like an antique feel. But customer service was awesome at both. They were very happy to see you.
Hmm.
Everyone spoke English. I had nobody be rude. Nobody was rude to me at either hotel. It was great on both ends. But I can say about hotels and Airbnbs in Paris, you have to be careful because not all hotels and not all Airbnbs have air conditioning. So
Ooh.
when you are looking for your Airbnbs, make sure that you check to see, is there an AC? Is that available? Because some of them there, it's not, that is a luxury. It's for some people, and that's not provided in a lot of those Airbnbs. So you have to be
Wow.
careful.
Oh, that's news to me. I didn't know that. I didn't. Well,
Mhm.
it was cold when I went, so I didn't need no AC. So
Mhm.
I was. But if you go in the summertime, that may be something you need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
So, what about the local transportation? Is it a walking city? Is it Uber, trains, or how do you get around?
We got around using Uber, and we also got around using Airbnb. So, oh, I said Airbnb, didn't I?
I was,
I got around using Uber,
I was like, they got a
and we
ride service.
also use the Metro, the train system. So for the Uber, you can tell some of them did not know English, but they knew how to
Mm,
follow their system and get you to the location you put in. So
mhm.
it was like, if you try to say something to them in English, then they would just look at you. So you're like, oh yeah, they don't know English. So
Yeah.
leave that alone. So the Uber worked out, but it was definitely more expensive.
Mm,
And if you're okay with navigating the metro, then you can definitely navigate the metro and do it. I personally wouldn't feel comfortable as a woman, like if I was traveling by myself and you
mhm,
don't know the language and you get off on the
mhm.
wrong stop, and what if the people around you don't know, English to help you get back to where you need to be?
That part.
So due to that, I wouldn't recommend somebody that doesn't know, if you don't know good French, it's not a city you want to get lost in either, because you don't want to
Mhm,
let anybody take advantage of you. Because you do still have pickpocketers in Paris and people
mhm,
trying to take advantage of tourists. So
mhm.
it cost more to Uber, but it was the safer route because you got straight to your location and I didn't have to, try to find someone to communicate with. So it just worked out better that way for me.
I got you. Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have to start wrapping things up. We do have a flight to catch back home. So, we're going to hit the gift shop for a quick second, get some souvenirs and what have you. But as we're doing that, Dina, is there anything else about Paris, or did you travel any other local cities or any other local neighboring countries while you was in Paris or
I
France?
wish I had, but I didn't. I think next time I would make time to like the other cities. So I know a lot of people take trains to other cities and make the most of the trip. So if I had to do it over again, I would definitely do that. I would definitely say Moulin Rouge was an amazing show to see at night.
Mhm,
They have like a 7 p.m., 9 p.m., or 11 p.m. show. I would suggest doing the 7 or 9 p.m. show if you do it. It's about a 2 hour show, and then you can go across the street because there's still a lot of restaurants open. Have a light night dinner and wine, and it's amazing just to be able to, um, I guess, see the dancers, and they're very very talented. It is a topless show. You cannot take pictures during the show, but before the show, you can take pictures of the stage if you want to.
mhm.
But very talented, and it was just amazing to see everybody so confident up there and dancing, the men and the women. It was just absolutely breathtaking. It was just like, wow, it's not raunchy or anything like that, but it was really really well done.
Okay, cool, cool. So, let me see here. Let me pause this one more. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we do have to catch this flight back home. So on this way back to our home airports, we do have one last segment, which is known as the lightning round. So I'm going to ask you a list of questions, and you have to answer them as quickly as possible. So quick, 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 quick. Speed is our friend. So let me see. And then also, Dina, to make things even more interesting, you only have one word answers that you can use. Yeah,
What?
yeah. So
I'm not gonna be able
yeah,
to
yeah, I
survive,
know.
but I will do my best.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm sure you'll do fine. So, you ready for the first question?
Yes,
All right. So, question number one: what is your favorite airline?
Delta,
What is your favorite hotel?
the Hyatt.
What is your favorite cruise line?
I've only done Carnival,
What is your favorite state?
California,
What is your favorite country?
Thailand,
What is your favorite hotel booking site?
bookit.com.
What is your favorite flight booking site or app?
I don't have one.
What is one thing that Dena Wallace must bring on all of her trips?
A battery pack, a big charger for my phone.
Yep. And where do you want to go next?
St. Lucia,
What other state would you live in?
Texas,
What other country would you live in?
Thailand.
Last question. What is your favorite travel podcast?
The Global Travel Podcast is my favorite.
Great answer. Great answer. I like that. Much appreciated. Thank you so much, Dena. I do appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what time of day it is. We are approaching our home airport. The plane is now descending, so I need you back into your seats. Buckle up, trays up, and your seats in the upright position. But before we land, Dena, if you can do us a huge favor, if you can give us one last piece of travel advice, what would that be?
Always go to a city and do something you've never done before, something that's unforgettable, and it will make the trip worthwhile.
Mm. Well said. Well said. Do something different. You're in a different country, so
That's
do
it.
something different. So glad, much appreciated. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are safely landed. You can now unbuckle your seatbelts, grab your belongings, and exit the cabin. Thank you for flying here with us at the Global Travel Podcast, and we'll see you guys on our next trip. If you would like to be a guest on our show and tell us about your travel experiences, then leave us a comment in the comment section below so we can reach out to you. Also, if you have any countries, states, or cities that you'd like us to review, please let us know so we can plan a trip there. Lastly, if you got some good value today and liked our podcast, please hit the like button and click subscribe so you can travel with us again next time. So subscribe right now because you don't want to miss the next trip. With that being said, over and out.